Aloha, everyone. Of course, this is not Pastor Kuna, this is Pastor Art. And what a joy it is for me to be part of this Devo this day, the last day of our fast for this powerful, powerful weekend, devoted a weekend of Aloha. You know, it's so important that you and I understand that what you and I have been doing, fasting and praying, is key to the overall preparation and outcome of this entire weekend. You know, throughout the entire Bible, we have seen from many, many various stories where God is encouraging us, no matter where you're at, whether you're a huge kingdom or one individual, that intercession plays a huge part. Prayer and fasting. And there's one particular person I'm thinking about right now. Her name is Esther. You know, so many people say, you know, for such a time as this, and they're quoting what Mordecai said to her in her critical moment. She was an intercessor who ended up with God's favor because she was willing to obey and do it God's way. She was a woman of favor because she was an intercessor. She took time to intercede and to pray. Remember the story? A passage that I think you and I should get a hold of and familiar with is found in Esther chapter 4, verse 13 to 16. That'd be a good passage for you to look up and meditate on later on. But it says this: "Do not think in your heart that you will escape the king's palace any more than all the other Jews." For they were in threat, of course, and they were being threatened for their entire existence. Verse 14 goes on to say, "For if you remain completely silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" Then Esther was so stirred by those powerful words that she replied to Mordecai and says, "Go and gather all the Jews and share this with them. Let's fast for the next 3 days and 3 nights. I will do it, you do it, and let's believe for God to move on our behalf." So she began to intercede. In her high position, she did not let her title or her busyness of what her responsibilities were as queen in the kingdom. She began to fast and pray. She cut that time out. She made time to intercede. She made time to, sacrifice certain meals, and I'm sure certain delicacies that were, that she was entitled to as queen. Just like you've made time to fast. You've made time to pray. And you had to make sure that that time was there. But that's preparation for the outcome called favor. She had favor, and of course there was great deliverance that came to the Jewish people because the favor is seen in that story because she took time to fast and to pray. So I wanted to share that with you, that our time together is because God is trying to break people through, but He needs people like you and I to obey and to be part of that fasting, be part of that praying, whether it's collective with our teams or individually, whether it's the entire church, which we're all part of, whether it's focused on this particular weekend. But what are we doing? We're depending on God. We're so God dependent, not event dependent, but we're God dependent, and we're believing God to touch people's lives with the word that Pastor Kuna will share and the other expressions that are going to be just joyously delivered on that devoted weekend, a weekend of Aloha. It's going to be powerful. Our guests are going to be impacted. You are going to be impacted. Eyes are going to be open. Hearts are going to be healed. There's just going to be an incredible outpouring. But why is that? Because we're depending on God. We're depending on the power of the Holy Spirit. And so this passage, when it says, "Or who knows that you were born for such a time as this," it wasn't just to be queen, it was that she would intercede and bring preservation, or that part of preparation for God to do what He needed to do for humanity. And I know it's going to be a powerful weekend. I know it's going to be dynamic. I know there's going to be many testimonies in your life, in the lives of your family members, as well as maybe your disciples or friends and family that you are going to invite. And it's all because you and I are totally dependent on Him. Well, it's a powerful, powerful, powerful weekend that we're about ready to step into. Thank you so much on behalf of myself, certainly Pastor Kuna, who's right now in serious preparation. And I'm excited for what this weekend is going to bring into your life, to the entire church, to the entire family of Word Life Christian Center. Thank you so much for being a part, doing your part, being obedient. Now watch what God does, and He gets all the glory. Aloha, and let's now have a powerful weekend.